Yes, yes, I know. Camp 315? Why? You missed out so many One Piece episodes in the past, like, 3-4 weeks. Yes, I understand that. I understand what's going on in the manga. I'm not doing a manga chapter review because even though the manga chapters have been very important for One Piece in terms of a talking point. I feel like I can wait for the anime to do that episode and give my thoughts on that. It's not as big. To me, it didn't feel as important as much as the next guy, even though this current chapter was crazy too. But One Piece, the anime. I'm talking about episodes, obviously, episodes, episodes 1066 through 1069. Yeah, I missed a lot. So the first thing I want to talk about, again, I'm not going to go into details with the past episodes, but I'm going to go from like small things to big things. The whole Orochi and Komurasaki thing, which obviously, seemingly enough, Hiyori's looking like, I'm guessing she's gonna get her revenge on Orochi, which is absolutely crazy. She has him pinned down, and obviously she's very much scaring the guy, so that's something within itself that it's going to be a very interesting thing to see where that approach is going to go. Yamato was able to stop the bombs from exploding and everything, mostly due to Big Mom getting involved in that, but she managed to stop that, and again, she's continuing to egg Momonosuke on and trying to keep Onigashima afloat. We have it to where where Raizo wins his fight against Fukurokaju. I thought it was just in a way kind of symbolic that he was the one that managed to, deal with the flames, and I would say fight him off and ignore the just burning heat of the flames, because hey, he was there when Odin was being boiled alive, and he's dealt with flames and heat before, so to him, in a way, it's kind of nothing, even though after Fukurokaju falls, he kind of, spazzes out saying, oh, it's too hot. But it's kind of like really crazy. It's kind of really crazy when you think about it, if you understand the context, you'll understand, like, okay, I get the meaning, like, why Raizo is still able to hang on in this heat, he's in these flames, these heat, because it's not like he's been close to a boiling heat pot before. So he wins his fight against Fukurokaju. We have it to where Izo actually confronts the CP0 members, and he manages to take one of them out. The masked guy with the top hat ends up freaking killing him, sadly, and it looks like he's more than likely dead too. But Izo's last stand to protect his sibling, and as well as also make sure that CP0 doesn't get close to finding Robin, that was another whole thing within itself. Then you have the whole scene, well, actually, let's say that for the Luffy Kaido stuff. The kid in Trafalgar Law fight versus Big Mom climax, it was absolutely amazing. Again, I apologize for not reviewing those episodes when they came out initially. Again, I'm not going to go into crazy details with the fight, but the fight, like even this past week with Luffy and Kaido, was a visually stunning fight. The whole takedown of Big Mom, it really goes to show you how much Law and Kid had to do to take just one emperor down. And we know Big Mom was like very durable, and she was willing to take all these attacks. And when you think, oh, they have her down, she just gets right back up, and then it seems like she's getting even more of a crazy power boost. But it was absolutely crazy the way that they used to defeat her, in a way that kind of like beat her by catching her by surprise. Like absolutely, it was absolutely crazy with all the moves that they did in that fight, only to send Big Mom all the way down literally into like this crater pretty much that they made. um you know, as well as the fact that, you know, she fell with the bombs and now she's floating in what you would think is lava pretty much. Now the question is she dead, or is she still alive? Well, with the fact that seemingly enough Zeus is still alive, you would have to be like, well, if Big Mom was dead, Zeus would probably cease to exist. Even though he's kind of some weird way Nami's like bow staff now. But regardless, he's still kind of a homie, so it's like, well, if he's still alive, you would have to think Big Mom's somehow still alive. But they pretty much confirmed that Law and Kid both won the fight. And Big Mom is the first emperor in the story to be officially taken down in the world of One Piece. Which, when this gets out in the news that Big Mom has been defeated, like, that's just, it's groundbreaking news that, okay, Big Mom has been defeated. An emperor, a great power in the world of One Piece, has been defeated. And she was defeated by 2 of the supernovas. So that's absolutely crazy within itself. You just see how exhausted Kid and Law are, because remember, they were using their awakened devil fruit powers, and it drained their like stamina like crazy. Also, I forgot to mention, Zoro also looks like he's seeing like the damn near afterlife. He's looking at this freaking thing, this freaking like character with like a whole scythe. Frankie comes in to like save him from almost falling off Onigashima to his death, pretty much. So that's the good thing right then and there. But pretty much where we're at in the fight, it's like we're at in this war for Onigashima. Pretty much all the battles have concluded, and pretty much everybody's pinning their hopes on Luffy. And you even have it to where, I believe it was in this episode, Law and Kid, or this past episode, Law and Kid were like, well, what if Straw Hat doesn't win? Well then, you know, hopefully we have something left in the tank to freaking fight Kaido, but I highly doubt it. I guess we'll just go down fighting together. So you pretty much pick up this episode to where Luffy was fighting against Kaido. Again, this episode was visually stunning with the animation stills and the paneling and everything that was happening in this fight that was going on. And you just have Luffy go Gear 4 Snake Man this go around. He doesn't go Boundman, even though he goes Boundman again later, Bounceman later in the fight. He goes Snake Man to give him obviously some extra speed, as well as some nice extra powers. Like, we see like one attack where he uses, which is pretty crazy, which was Gum Gum Hydra, which I'm guessing this is Gear 4 Snake Man's, I guess, version of Gum Gum Gatling, pretty much. Because remember, for his Bounceman form, it's like Oregon as his Gatling attack. This one, it's Hydra, and he's just firing off attacks like where Kaido just can't see it and he can't just evade him and everything. And Kaido's just taking all these shots. Again, it's still crazy that Kaido has been taking all these shots from like way back episodes ago, and he still seems like he's fighting at like seemingly enough like half of his power. Now we all know that like the more his stamina is obviously draining himself, but it's still crazy that this guy's durability too is just crazy. Like he was taking like really good shots like way back when Law and Kid were fighting this guy, you know, and he's still taking these shots against Luffy in his Gear 4 state, probably using Ryuo as well. So it's just absolutely crazy. And again, that's a Zoan. He's a Zoan. They have, and mind you, mythical Zoan too. So you have to think just their durability is absolutely crazy. But you know, Kaido catches Luffy by surprise by going into his dragon form and he literally eats him, but then he spits him out and then fires a blast breath that sends him down, looks like to the mainland of Wano. And that's when Luffy gets out of it by pretty much going into his Bounceman form. And he goes up and he's just going back on the offensive, pretty much saying like, this is my last Gear 4. I gotta hurry up before I wear out, because he knows if he deforms out of his Gear 4 form, well, it's over. We already know he can't use Haki for 10 minutes, but by then he'll probably be too exhausted to even fight anymore. So he pretty much just goes on the offensive and he's doing whatever he can. He unleashes his other move. Also, too, he talks about Kaido saying, like, listen, you know, you enslaved this country. You know, there's good people in this country and everything. And pretty much Kaido's like, well, who the fuck cares about these people? You know, they're just stepping stones to me. And that's when Luffy just goes on the offensive. He fires up another new attack called Over Kong Gun. I'm guessing it's just like, maybe it's like that's infused with Ryo, you know, of just King Kong Gun. I don't know in terms of like Kong guns how this would be on the tiers. Like, is this Over Kong Gun stronger than King Kong Gun? Who knows? But even though Luffy's giving various attacks, Kaido's coming back from it. He goes back into his hybrid form, especially the hybrid looking form of his, where it looks like his scales aren't like a light blue, they're more of like an indigo pretty much. So we see that form again. I thought at first, and if you remember one of my episode reviews in the past, I thought, okay, maybe that's just how he looks in his hybrid form when he's drunk. No, it seems like this is kind of like a meaning of saying, okay, the more the scales get darker and I guess this indigo color, the more serious he's getting and the more full power he's trying to use. You know, you have a moment where Luffy gets caught by surprise, gets hit with a Thunder Bagara again. It looks like he's going to knock out, but he then sucks the steam back into his system to keep the Gear 4 activated and running. And then he goes in, and you get this crazy clash scene. This crazy scene as they look like they're about to clash, which if you like slow... If you go on YouTube and watch that as they're charging to one another, especially on Luffy's side, and there's people on Twitter that actually the night of the episode like actually screenshotted images of it. But if you slow it down to like its slowest resolution, as he's charging in, there's, you know, when it's moving like at regular speed, you just see a flash of light, you know, as the camera's zooming in on Luffy. But if you actually like slow it down. In that flash of light, you can actually see Luffy, like this animation still of Luffy using all his different gear form. So there was one panel that had him in his gear 2nd form, another one where he was using gear 3rd, and then obviously another one using gear 4th. Now, there was another still that looked very interesting. Very interesting. I'm not going to say anything because that would be a massive spoiler for what's to come in maybe about a week or two's time. And I think the anime is going on break this Saturday. I don't know. Hopefully they're not, so then I can do a review Saturday night, because I think I'm not going to go to the Angel game on my Saturday night. I think I want to have a nice chillax weekend. And can my camera get together, please? Holy hell. But you get this very interesting panel where you see this face. It looks like Luffy. He's smiling, and it looks like there's flames around him. Now, obviously, if you're a manga reader, you get the reference. You get the understanding what that means. But when I saw that, I was like, oh boy. Who knows? Maybe I just spoiled it for anime onlys, but if you want to go see that panel, again, you have to slow it down to the slowest possible, you know, speed of the video you can do. But when I saw that panel, I was just like, my body is ready. But anyways, Luffy ends up charging at Kaido, and it looks like they're gonna have like a clash, the final clash between the characters, probably to see who solves it. But then you have it to where that CP0 member comes in, holds Luffy's arms back by using Iron Body, and then Kaido's already in the motion of using his Thunder Bagara again. He hits Luffy square on, but as he's doing that, you can see the look on his face that he doesn't look, I guess you could say, very happy that he did what he did, because he flashes back to the moment with Odin when obviously the people tricked Odin in the flashback and he defeated Odin that way. It was similar in this situation. An outside force gets involved and helps Kaido get the W. And definitely, I remember when the manga happened, people were so damn upset. I haven't seen other people's anime reactions to it. So that's kind of the thing right then and there. But you just see, like, Kaido looks so distraught that it happened. You could see that he was having a good time fighting, and he was just at shock and disbelief that this is how the fight is ending. This fight I've had with Straw Hat is ending like this because a government agent got involved in this crap. And Luffy is down for the count. You know, he deforms into his regular base state, and he's done. And that's where we left off with a cliffhanger. That Luffy apparently has been defeated. So absolutely crazy, but if you read the manga, you only know what's coming next, and it's going to be a grandiose moment for the One Piece anime, especially the fact that they've been hyping this moment up with just the animation team they brought. Again, you know, when this episode comes out, I'm telling you, this moment's going to break the internet. It's going to be one of those moments where I wouldn't be shocked if Crunchyroll servers are just down because people are trying to come on and watch this episode just from this moment. Like, the fact that we're gonna probably get like what happened with the Ultra Instinct episode, to where every anime site imaginable crashed because everybody was trying to see the Ultra Instinct Goku episode. Absolutely crazy. Now, first things first, Crunchyroll should be prepared this go around, because I forgot when the Ultra Instinct the Ultra Instinct Goku episode aired, but even then, it's like, okay, you have to be prepared for things crashing. So if servers are bad, well then I know most importantly I'm going to go switch over to Funimation and watch the episode over there, because I could see, especially with the fact that the One Piece English dub is now airing on Crunchyroll, I could see why some people would probably drop their Crunchyroll subscriptions or their Funimation subscriptions. So yeah, but anyways, I'm very excited for what's to come for One Piece, knowing as a manga reader, things like that. Again, apologize for not getting these episode reviews out. Been very busy in my personal life in terms of work and things like that. But hopefully, if there's a new episode this Saturday, I will be able to talk about it and get it out to you guys on time. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this episode of One Piece. Again, do not leave any comments for spoiling people who are anime onlys, because I don't want them to be spoiled. As well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more One Piece or other anime content I upload to the channel. Till then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're checking this video. Peace.